Hi, my name's Penny. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about the books that I'm hoping to read during the rest of August. So I've already read 6 books this month thanks to the Booktubeathon, and there is actually heaps of the month left, which is lucky because I added quite a lot of books to my TBR. Oops. Anyway, because there's so many books, let's just get into them. So the first one I need to read is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. I'm actually really close to the end. I have like 20 more pages, but I am going to film this and then I'm going to read this on the way to the library to return it, even though it's late at night, but it's due back tomorrow. And I was planning to go after work tomorrow, but now I have a meeting after work tomorrow, so I guess I'm going to return it tonight. Just need to finish this last little bit. So this is a story which is basically a Little Mermaid retelling, except that the prince is a siren killer and the Little Mermaid is a siren princess who murders princes. I'm going to resist the urge to start talking about what I thought about this book, but there is no doubt that I will finish this month. So the next book that I'm hoping to finish is A Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson. I've got this on audiobook and I'm about halfway through. So this is the sequel to Kiss of Deception, which is this story about a princess who runs away from this arranged marriage, and then she has a prince and an assassin chasing after her, but you don't know when she meets the two men which one is which. I did really like it and the ending. I didn't talk about the ending in my wrap-up, but the ending was the kind of ending where you really... it isn't really an ending, so I had to go straight into the audiobook for the next book, and I'm actually going to try and finish the whole series this month, because then I don't feel like I'm starting new series and putting them on that ever-growing series in progress list. So I will read this, and then I can't remember what the last book is called, but I will read that too. I do also have on Libby The Heritage of Sayador, which is like the 50 millionth book of the Saga of Recluse. That's not true, like the 18th or something. I will be continuing with this, but not until after I finish the Remnant Chronicles, although I think I've only got 15 more days, so it's possible I might read it before the last book. We'll see what happens. I have been listening to a lot of audiobooks lately because I've been walking a lot, which is good. Now, there are also 3 books that I had put aside for reading during the Booktubeathon, but I didn't get to them, but I still want to get to them. The first one is Binti Home by... should I try to say it? I read the first Binti book a little while ago and I really enjoyed it, so I want to read the rest of the series. The books are really short, so it should be quick. There's this one, and I've also requested from the library The Night Masquerade, which is the 3rd book, and then I'll have finished this series. So again, we're trying not to add books to the series in progress list. I don't really know what happens in this book. I assume that Binti goes home after studying at the university, but we'll see. Then I also have Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. This is a classic science fiction comedy kind of book. I love the TV show back whenever I watched it. I think I watched it in the 90s, but I think it was from the 70s or 80s. When was this published? 1979. So probably the show was in the 80s. I really enjoyed it when I watched it as a kid, so I am looking forward to reading this. And also I want to read The Lost Strange, which is this Emily the Strange book. Again, this one's one that should be a really quick read. I don't really know what it's about beyond the fact that it's Emily Strange, and I love Emily Strange, so we'll read that too. Then I really am going to try to read Blood Red by Mercedes Lackey. I borrowed this from my sister a long time ago, and I keep putting it on like every single TBR and then not reading it, even though I do want to read it. I don't know why. This is basically a Little Red Riding Hood retelling, but in the Elemental Masters world that Mercedes Lackey has created. I think this is like the 10th, 9th, something in the series. And again, a book I need to read to get that series in progress list down. So we're going to read it this month. Another book that I really want to get to this month is Magic Bleeds, which is the 4th book in the Kate Daniels series by Alona Andrews. This is one of my favorite series, and I have been rereading it this year with the goal of reading them all before the 10th book comes out. The 10th book is actually coming out this month, but it's okay that I'm only on the 4th book of my reread, because I think it's going to take me a little while to get my hands on the 10th book, because I want a paperback and the queues at the library are massive. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I can always buy the ebook, but I'd rather not. So we'll see what happens, but I'm definitely going to read this one this month. I say definitely, but there's a lot of books on this list, so like 50%. I've still got 3 more massive books on my list. So then another book that I want to read this month is a little bit of a secret, and that is Venom in the Veins by Jennifer Estep. So this is the something, I say the something a lot, but the something book in the Elemental Assassin series, which follows this assassin called Jin, who has elemental powers and basically goes along making friends and saving her friends while she battles vampires and demons. It's a really cool world and very fast-paced action story, a little bit of romance. I really enjoy it. I feel like even though in some ways each book is a little bit formulaic, she still adds new elements that make it interesting. And at its core, it's a story about found family and looking out for your friends and family. So I do really like it. What I am sad about is the size of this book. So this is the first book in the series where the author has self-published. I don't know why she self-published, but she self-published this one. Now, normally these books are a similar format to these ones, but you will see those are not the same size anymore. So I guess some people would be happy, the people who are always like, yay, fluffy paperbacks. This is exactly what you would like. However, I prefer this format. So I'm not that happy. Also, it means it's not going to match the rest of my mum's series, because what I should get to is that I've actually bought this book for my mum. I've bought every book in the series for my mum, and usually I try to pre-read them before I give them to her. Now the reason for that is it actually makes it easier for her, because now she can read it and she can talk to me about it straight away, and also she doesn't have to worry about lending it to me so I can read it. So really, it's part of the gift, the fact that I pre-read it. Also, I don't want to have to wait for her to read it. So I'm just going to read it, but it does mean I will need to read it this month, because my mum's birthday is the start of September. So if I don't read it this month, I'm going to miss out on the pre-read, is what I'm going to do. I do wish it was the other format. Normally these books are pretty quick reads because they're so fast-paced, but I always feel like books this format are slower reads for me. But it's probably all in my head, so we'll see what happens. So, there's 2 more books on the list, and they're both massive. The first one is The Skies of Pern by Anne McCaffrey. So, again, this is the something book of the Dragons of Pern series. It's the next one that I'm up to in my read through it. I think it's like I want to say the 17th. I don't really know, but look, it's massive. It's like one of those really big books, and it's like 450 pages, and the last few books I read of this series were not well written. So I'm really hoping this one will be different, but I'm not really that sure. We'll see what happens, I guess. I definitely want to get to it, though, because I've got to get through this series. I've just got to get through it. And I think this is one of the last ones. There's just Anne McCaffrey, and her son joined her in the writing soon. So I'm hoping that at that point things will get better. Either way, I'm interested to see whether they get better. Then, the last one that I have in my pile, although there's actually some other books I want to get to this month, but these are the main ones. The last one on my pile is Gemina by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. Flip the names around. So this is the second book in the Illuminae files. It's actually even longer than the Illuminae files. Like the Illuminae files, I think, was 622 pages. And this one, 659, a little bit longer. It just feels like massive. So it'll be interesting. I mean, they can be quick reads because it is a story told in multimedia, and I'm sure at the end it will go crazy again like it did in the first one, and those crazy pages are often quick to get through. I don't really know what to expect from this story. In the first book, you have this guy and a girl who are teenagers. They've just broken up and their planet gets attacked. Their planet, which is an illegal mining operation, gets attacked, and they have to kind of escape and fight for their lives, and they end up getting involved in this crazy AI that's driving one of their spaceships that they've managed to escape on, and it's a little bit too much romance, but it had a good twist, a few good twists, and some interesting ideas. So it'll be interesting to see what actually happens from here, how they carry it on. I'm still hopeful that there's some time travel because I heard that there was some time travel. So far, I've seen no time travel, but hopefully it's coming. So those are all the books I'm hoping to read in the rest of August. Having talked through them, it's quite a lot of books. And I wanted to spend less time reading and more time living. Reading is living, Penny. Reading is living. But I did want to spend some more time getting my shit together and not reading so much. So putting so many books on my TBR is probably a mistake. But I'm going to do it anyway. Let me know if you have read any of the books I'm hoping to read and what you thought about them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.